Got a fun project for you today. We're gonna be turning our chicken coop into a chick brooder. We're gonna tell you everything you need to know about setting up a brooder for chicks. Let's talk about that in today's video. This is a chicken coop. It was actually the first coop we ever purchased for our homestead. It's a perfectly fine place to brood your chicks, but if you have a different spot, a spot that you can stand upright, a barn, a garage, I prefer working with chicks in an area where you have a lot of room to work. When you're selecting a space to use for a brooder, find a spot that's easy to work with and that you can check on frequently. Make sure the space you choose to brood is close to running water and has access to electricity. When selecting a space for your brooding, you want to find a spot that is rat-proof. You also want to make sure to find a spot that is well ventilated but not drafty. Now before you get started setting up your brooder, there's one thing you want to make sure that you have ready. This is really important. You're going to want to make sure you have this ready before the chicks come. And that's your pastured poultry packet from Farm Marketing Solutions. Alright, so maybe the chicks don't care whether or not you have a pastured poultry packet. But this has been a great resource for me. Just today I sat down before getting ready to set up the brooder and went back through it. I wanted to make sure that the space I was setting up in this coop was the right square footage, that I could achieve the right temperatures, that I could set up the right amount of lights and feeders for my chicks. All that information that you're looking for, it's in the pastured poultry packet. We're inside the red coop here. Fortunately, we cleaned this yesterday. It's not gross to be working in this space and working in these wood chips. Is this going to be a big enough space for my chicks? Well, this year I'm getting 20 chicks. The pastured poultry packet told me that I needed 0.5 square feet per chick of brooder space. So I did the math, made sure that I had enough square footage in here. We're good to go. I'm going to now start setting up this space so that when the chicks arrive, they're happy and healthy. Get out of here, chicken. Come on, get out of here. Here are two things you will never find me at this homestead without. One are these U-nails or U-staples or whatever you call those. These are fantastic when you have to hang stuff like lights, feeders, waterers. They turn any piece of wood into a handy hanging space. These also work well too, little screw-in hooks. So depending on what you're doing, something more permanent or something you might want to move, I just went and put 3 of these U-nails in this 2x3 up above me. With the 3 U-nails, I can hang a waterer, I can hang a feeder, and I can hang a light. With every brooding setup for every group of chicks, you're going to need to hang those 3 things. I'll show you why you need to hang them later, but just trust me, it makes life easier. The U-nails are up and now we're ready to start hanging things. First, the most important thing your chicks need is a good heat source. If you order them in the mail, they've been in a box, they've been traveling in cold mail trucks, and they're at the post office waiting for you, and so their temperature is getting colder and colder. Hi, out of here. So you want to make sure when they arrive, your space is already up to the right temperature. What is the right temperature for your chicks? The right temperature on day 1 is different from the right temperature on day 31, and so on and so forth. Page 3-3 of my pastured poultry packet tells me every day of my chicken's life up to day 21 what you want the temperature in the brooder to be. Day 1, 90 degrees. So I need to make sure that my heat lamp is set up, and that's why I brought a thermometer with me. I'm gonna leave this thermometer in the coop to check the temperature. So make sure you have yourself a thermometer. For heat lamps, I use these Premier One Prima lights. These things are awesome. They're more expensive than the things you get at Tractor Supply, but they last forever. They're good quality lights, and they have this nice hard braid at the bottom so that if your light were to fall down, the light itself isn't touching the bedding and you wouldn't start a fire and burn your coop down. You know, barns have burned down because of lights, but never because of one of these. I like to hang all of my lights, feeders, and waterers with ratchet straps. Now, you don't need to use ratchet straps. You can use ropes. If you know a special knot, a slip knot or something that works better for you, great. I like to use ratchet straps because they're heavy duty, they're easy and quick to use if you know how to use a ratchet strap, if they don't confuse you. The ratchet strap has a hook on either side. I can take my hook, put it right in that U-nail in the ceiling that we just banged in there. Then I take this other side of the ratchet strap, hook it to my light. Now, why do I want it on a ratchet strap or a slip knot, something that I can move? Because each day that the chicks get older, they need the temperature to change. So every day I need to raise this light up to allow them to have a cooler area. With the ratchet strap, all I do every day is come out here, one click, and it's up higher. Another click the next day, and so on. It makes it really simple. Plus, they're very heavy duty. They're not going to slip. If you're bad at tying knots and ropes, your knots might slip and you might find your light on the ground one morning. Ratchet straps make this easy. My light is hung. Now let's hang a feeder and a waterer. Get out of here, you stinkers. I didn't clean this for you. Get out of here. Go, 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 go. Ow, shoo. They can't help themselves. They like a clean coop. It's time to hang up our feeders and our waterers. For waterers, I like to use nipple waterers for the chicks. The reason I like nipple waterers is because they keep a ton of the mess down. The key is you need to buy good quality nipple waterers. Everybody knows, not all nipples are created equal. If you buy a nipple waterer with low quality nipples, they will drip. And that'll make a mess in your coop. So you want to have good quality nipples. I buy Premier Ones waterers. They're hard, durable plastic. They last and last, they don't break. Their nipples are good quality nipples. They don't drip. If they ever were to break because of like user error or something, you can take them off and replace them like that. There you go. You just order a new one. But they won't break because they're good quality and because they're recessed in the bucket. So when you go to fill this thing and it's got, 10 pounds of water in it and you set it on the ground forgetting about the nipples on the bottom, you're all right. They're protected. Expensive, totally worth it. Don't buy cheap waterers. It'll drive you crazy, make your life more difficult. Now, a quick word about nipple waterers. When your chicks first arrive, they are thirsty. They do need a drink right away. And so you might want to, in addition to the nipple water, you can have just a pan or a bell style waterer, something in the coop with them that they can get an easy, quick drink from. Eventually they will learn to use the nipples. All of them will learn to use the nipples and they'll be fine. But in the beginning, it might be better to go with the bell waterer or just a bowl. I also put the waterers on ratchet straps because as the chicks grow taller, they start hitting the nipple with their backs and that causes water to be wasted. All you can do is just keep raising up the waterer as the chicks grow. And if you raise it up too much, well, it's easy to lower it down again too. All you gotta do is lower the thing. Now it's time, we gotta hang our feeder. Nothing really too fancy about the feeders, no moving parts. You can't really go wrong with just a bell feeder. The only thing, again, I do hang mine for the previously stated reasons. Chicks grow, and so you want the feeder off the ground where their head is. You don't want the chicks walking over on top of the feeder. You'll get more poop in the feed. So if you elevate this up so they kind of reach their head and look down in, it stays a lot cleaner, your feed. Make sure to elevate your feeder, your waterer, and your light. It's just so easy with the ratchet straps. And I'll have a link below for some really cheap ratchet straps on Amazon that work good. You can't go wrong. You get a big package of them and you use them every year and you keep them in your chick kit. Oh man. You can see why I prefer to work in a barn or in the basement, but sometimes you deal with what you got, right? You just make do with what you have because, well, that's what you have, right, Pop? Right, Pop? Oh, look at that pup. This pup is so majestic. Look at how majestic he is. Oh, that pup is majestic. There is the finished product, all ready to go. I can adjust it as the chicks grow. I don't have to retie any knots. I don't have to fuss with any rope. And when I'm all done, all this stuff gets packed right back up into the chick kit. We know on day one those chicks need to be 90 degrees. I have my handy dandy thermometer here. I'm just gonna put it underneath the heat lamp. We'll come back later and see if right under that lamp and within the radius around it, we've achieved 90 degrees. This is my setup for 10 birds. If you want to find out how much feeders, waterers, down to like how many inches of feed space you need per chick, I cannot point you to a better, easier to use, handy resource. And I'm not just saying that because John's one of my BFFs. It's just a really handy packet. John is one of my BFFs though, so if you're watching, buddy, leave a comment below. Tell me that you care. Me and John had a blast. If you watched that video, we got together and hung out recently. And we don't get to hang out enough because we're both very busy dad, entrepreneur guys. But when we do, we have a fun time. Come on, guys, every time, get out of there. Get out of here, get out. Also makes a great weapon for knocking chickens back with. There it is. Everything's hung up, everything's easy to adjust. Everything is ready. All I have to do is plug in the lights and let this place come up to heat. That took me a couple hours. Now, of course, I'm filming and trying to demonstrate stuff, but this will take you a solid hour or more. And you don't want your chicks sitting in that box in the cold while you're getting this set up, and then the lights then have to come up to heat and your water has to come up to temperature. Don't wait till the day you think your chickens are coming, because they're probably gonna come sooner. Ours will be coming this week, so stay tuned. I don't know what day they're gonna show up as usual, but I'm thinking probably Wednesday or Thursday is usually the case for us. So make sure to stick around so you can see that. I told you. Be ready for chicks when you least expect it. We always get this call in the morning. All of a sudden, 11 o'clock, we get a phone call. But the coop is at a nice 95 degrees here, and we're gonna go get them. I hope that showed you everything you need to have ready for your brooder setup and where to pick it out. If you want the pastured poultry packet, there is a affiliate link below that you can click on, and you'll help to support this channel, and you'll help to support my buddy John and everything he does at Farm Marketing Solutions by purchasing that packet. If you buy any of the equipment that you saw in this video that you can buy through Amazon, click on our Homesteady link or just type in homesteady.com and that will forward you to Amazon, but we'll get an affiliate bonus for sending you there, but it won't cost you a dime extra anytime you're gonna shop at Amazon, and you can help us keep making this channel. Thanks. If you have any questions, leave them below and we'll get to them. And we'll see you in tomorrow's video, which you're not gonna wanna miss, because you're not gonna believe the animal that we're buying. Go ahead and guess below, because you're gonna wanna be able to gloat when you guess this one correctly. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.